Welcome to Anthony's Amazing World. Today here we're going to work on this Hutchinson's dual action or orbital air filer. It has stopped working. It doesn't do its dual action anymore. I'll show you. So we're going to jump into taking it apart and see if I can make it work. And probably just needs some kind of bearing, but in order for me to figure that out, I got to take it all apart. So go ahead and take this knob off. Get these four. So there's 11/32. Put these little bad boys to the side. That should. Oh, screws at the bottom there. Now there's some screw heads here. Let's see how. There we go. Ooh, that's not good. All right, I got 3 off. That one's going to be a problem for me. Let's see if it comes off the other way. There. Oh no. There we go. Looks like I'm going to have to get some new screws. Some of them are a little wasted. Oh, here we go. See if I can get the screw off this way. Oh, it moved. Sometimes you can get these bolts loose if you can get a vice grip on there and spin it like so. Especially when you strip them out, or they were already stripped. All right, so most of them are off. All right. that one's going to be a little more difficult. Trying to get this rubber off, but that got stripped. So I got to come up with some kind of idea. We'll come back to that in a moment. Okay, well, I have no other choice but to drill out this screw so I can get this rubber piece. So I'm going to lightly drill it out. Serious screw right there. There we go. Now I should be able to get this guy off of the rubber. It's always a way. Now I can move on to taking the bottom off, which it looks like somebody was already here. So let's see if we can get them off successfully. Otherwise, I'll have to drill them out. Which this. That one don't want to come out. Sometimes it just don't want to come out. Two more left. If I can get them out. There we go. Last one. A little tricky getting to it. Use the screwdriver on the back there. You can see it there. I put it in there so I can get to it. Stop it from spinning on me. There we go. All the screwing, I think, is mostly done. Now we can see what's going on here. So there is somewhat of a bearing or something getting stuck here. Looks like the bearing locked up. I don't know if I can get this off or apart. I'll have to come back to this in a little bit. Okay, so it looks like there's these 4 giant screws right here, and it looks like this whole thing pops out. So, it's just a theory. We're going to see if that happens. One, and a little all right. So it looks like these little ear things hold this in. Ooh. It's a little caked up. Probably why it doesn't want to come out. Sometimes if you just clean things up before you take it apart, they come apart a lot easier. There we go. So there's a whole piece there. This lines up right there. Now I got it stuck. All right, you little bastard. Anyways, I'm struggling now. This little guy. Well, it looks like we'll have to come back to that. Okay, got it off with some more wiggling and brute force, but it seems to me that this bearing is locked up right here. So we're going to take this little guy off, Allen, and we're going to see if we can get to it. There we go. There we go. That holds on that weight. It's got a little half moon. It looks like I call this a lock washer or a wave washer. Got that and that. Keep those together, all together by itself over there. And I don't know if I can get bearings or if this is a common bearing thing they have. This isn't easy to get apart either. There we go. Okay. Ooh. I can see one of my problems already. So I've fixed something similar to this. My dad's air hog. Oh. Actually, they look okay. There's like these little flaps in here that get it to go around in circles. When the air goes in there, they come outwards like so. So then it can rotate. Those are very important. They look like they're all okay. Make sure I put them all back in the right way. So it looks like they got a little notch here. They're all facing that way. Then they're like two piece. Oh, they're like two piece. I'll set that over there. The reason why I'm fixing this too is it's a pretty expensive part or tool. So if it's a $10 bearing, I'd rather spend that for this $400 to $700 tool. Just a matter of getting it apart. I've never done this before, but I'm gonna make it happen. Yeah, I don't like that. I want to make sure I don't smash this in, so There we go. That looks like it has a keyway there. Oh, what the heck? That's new. So this keyway has a spring. There's a spring that's set right there. That's going to be difficult to put back together. Make sure I can get that keyway out. Stubborn keyway. It's almost like it's rusted in there a little. Don't want to damage it anyway, but don't want to come out. I need to get that off, then I can move forward. Alright, I'm going to try something a little different. Get some heat. We'll heat it up. See if that works. Okay, got some heat. See if we can get that little keyway off. I did spray some WD-40 on it. Haven't tried whacking it off yet. Also, I tried to clean up the shaft a little bit so this would slide a little easier. So, let's see if the WD-40 loosened it up at all. Oh, there we go. Yeah, that's what I wanted. Yeah. It was stuck in there with some kind of Loctite. See the red on there. Little red Loctite right there. That's why it was stuck in there. All right. Clean up the shaft a little bit. See if I can get this other part off. Just using some gray Scotch-Brite, and I think that was 1000 I'm using. Okay, got the keyway, all the little pieces over here. Let's see if we can get the rest of this apart. There we go. That's what I wanted. This bearing felt a little, whoa. So that plate goes on top of that. It goes on there. See if I can see numbers on this. 6200 ZC3. Let's see if I can get those later. Alright, the rest of this now. Allen head. There we go. That came apart real easy. Yeah. Yep. Looks like that got locked up. I'm not sure, but I'm guessing there's two in there. I'm not sure how I'm going to get it out exactly. Maybe something like that. Doesn't look like it moved. Assuming it comes out this way. It looks like it started to. No, I'll have to come back to this. Okay. I got a new idea because I think this shaft comes out this way. So, put that in there. Try this punch right here. Yep, that's it. Comes out this way. There we go. Ta-da. Now, I got to get these bearings out here. Okay, one is okay. As you can see, one free. This one, not so good. So, there it is. I'll have to figure out how to get these out now. Okay. So I pulled around a little bit. Was able to knock this one out. Which this is my culprit. As you can see, it's locked. This bearing doesn't want to move no more. So we're going to toss that one aside. And luckily, I had some bearings that I bought for one of my other projects that I was working on that I have on YouTube Tubes. So if you've been watching me, these are 6200s RS, which you see they're a little different. They're just sealed, but same exact width and size, roundness. So I'm going to go ahead and replace those once I get this one out and the other two out of here. So we're going to go ahead and do that. Got my punches here and a hammer. We'll go ahead and get to that. Okay, now it's time to reassemble it. Now I found the problem, which was this bearing. Now I just got to pound these two in, and then this might be a little tricky, but I put that in there, then push it in there, and then put this bearing in this rubber here, and it'll go right in there, like so. So we're going to get to that. I'm also going to put some grease in there in all these areas to help it slide in. It's multi-vehicle grease, but I don't have any other grease, so that's what I'm going to work with. And then I saved the 3 other ones that were okay in there. Good idea if you're going to do projects that have bearings. It seems that this is a common bearing right here, the 6200 RS. There's probably a couple other ones like this, but this one I bought because it was sealed. So I really like that, and try that out. Okay, now we're at the part of doing it all back in reverse. I gotta put this little guy in there and put a little bit of grease up on there. Grease is your friend when you put stuff back together. Look at that, just slid right in there like nothing. Now, got all kinds of movement. I'll put some grease up in here before I put it down onto here. And hopefully it'll seal a little bit up in there and keep it lubed up for a long time. Put the counterweight on, no problem. I have to go get me some tools because I left them inside. Okay, now we'll put this guy right here. Bam. And you've set the keyway in there. I'm going to put a little grease on it. And then the spring. It's a very important part. It's in there. Put some on there. central part. This will be a little tricky. You gotta keep the spring in place. Look at those guys. Alright, I'm going to push the spring down. There we go. Perfecto. Now I can deal with the little flaps, plastic flaps. Put those in there, like so. Okay, all those are in there. And we got this guy. Should go this way, if I'm not mistaken. And then we have this. There we go. And our spring washer. Oh, spring washer, you can see all curved. Our counterweight. There we go. And our Allen head screw. Got that in there. Go ahead and lock it down. Now, I should be able to slide it into the body here, which, go ahead and lube up. We'll also lube this guy up so it can go in there a lot easier. Oh yeah, there we go. Gotta love that stuff. Makes life so much simpler if you just put a little lube on it. Now the tricky part. Slide it in here. See if I can give it a little tap with the hammer. Get it to slide in. Oh, moved a little. Oh, there we go. That's what we wanted. Now we're in place. I can put my 4 screws and little ears on to hold everything in place. And we'll see if it spins pretty good or not. Should on its own there. Start right here. There we go. There we go. All the bearings are nice and replaced. Now I'm going to plug it into some air to see what happens real quick. Okay, here we go. There we go. Now I just need to put the rest of it together, and it should be good to go. Okay, now I got some screws left to do to put this rest of this air filer together. I got my screws here, and then my little rubber mounts, which they go right under here, these little guys. So I think the way I'm going to put it together is, and I got these new screws and nuts right here. So the way I think I'm going to do this is I'm going to start without the little rubbers off. That way I can twist this around, get in there like so. I'll be able to put a nut on there. Hopefully use this little wrench and my gun to tighten it up. It's going to be a little tricky to start every single one, so this might be a while. Might be a minute before I get all this in there and together. Okay, got those on. I don't know if you can see in there. We got some Loctite nuts on there all around. Now the next part I got to do is try to fit these little rubbers right there, and they line up with that hole right there. So I have to somehow put them in there. This isn't very easy. Here we go. So I got one standing up now. I'll have to line it up and put these screws in to anchor them down. This will take me a minute to do, and we'll go on to the last step. Okay, just about to test this thing out now. Got her all back together. Give her some air. Oh, there we go. Just the air there. Woo! I'm so glad I took this thing apart. Replaced the bearings. Because I was about to buy me a brand new one of these, which costs anywhere from $400 to $800. It all depends on what brand you get. So if you can find yourself one of these old ones, think you can take it apart, throw some new bearings in, you might just save yourself a lot of money there and get a good tool while you're at it. Anyways, be sure to hit that like, subscribe, and share button if you like this content. I tend to do this a lot, taking tools apart, finding out what's wrong with them, and see if I can't repair them or not. Sometimes I win, sometimes I lose. That's the name of the game. Anyways, we'll catch you all later on Anthony's Amazing World.